Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, is there anything you'd like to say or comment about self-evidence and theory-laden beliefs or any of this criterion?
Yeah, so sometimes I feel that people even referencing self-evidence don't know what self-evidence is.
Yeah, right.
The self-evident principles are not self-evidently presented to themselves.
That's a good point, right?
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have made this argument before that. So if you have multiple, I don't know, propositions or things that are claimed to be self-evident, the question becomes, well, how do we know these are the ones that constitute as self-evidence, not something else? If you give an answer to that, then it means it's depending on its justification that it qualify as self-evidence on something else. In other words, not self-evident. Number two, self-evidence is defined as if the terms of the proposition are clearly understood, their meanings, and it's true, then it's justified as, right, not outside of itself, but in itself, kind of a priori. But the problem is that already begs ways. Well, first of all, why is that? Who said that was a justification? I mean, where are we gonna get that? That's just arbitrarily assumed. That would need to be shown. Number two, begging the question is, how can we even say that if none of these people have even been able to establish that knowledge is possible or exist? So it's got some serious problems. And number three argument that I've made is the argument from arbitrariness, that basically I could have a self-evident proposition that denies the other self-evident proposition. So there's something kind of contradictory about it too. And then since there is no further reasons, because that's the definition of self-evidence, to pick one of two contraries, then it's arbitrary what I pick and self-defeating in the sense of a justification. If it's arbitrary, it's like you have two, do you see what I'm saying? I have two propositions that are defined in antithesis to one another.
Right.
They both claim to be self-evident.
Yeah, like when you dipped out, but at one point I said to that guy, I said, well, if you can come in and just say existence exists, and that's allowable for you in a debate, I can come in and say God just exists, and that's allowable for me in a debate. That's why you can't just have this sort of ad hoc assertion.
I saw somebody made an interesting point. I don't know if they realized it was something that Kant himself in the Critique of Pure Reason points out. But do you know that you can't even formally represent that? Literally, even in a sentence, existence exists. It's not even a coherent grammatical sentence, let alone formally even representing what that is. And I think Kant obviously has a more sophisticated argument.
So wait, that wouldn't just be a restatement of the law of identity? Well, no, wait a minute. To be the law of identity, it would have to say existence is existence, but it's actually saying existence exists. So it's actually a different claim, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not even formally constructed or grammatically structured correctly. Which is why when people say, like, well, logic just is, it's like, that's not even a sentence.
Right, just is what, yeah.
You know, some things are wrong, and really terribly wrong sometimes, but some things are so retarded they don't even get to the level of being a sentence where they can be wrong. That's when you know you're in serious trouble, right? People make all kinds of statements that are false. It's like, but what if you don't even get, what if you don't even get off the ground where it's like it can even be true or false?
Yeah, I mean, this was like this was T-Dump's reality is reality, right? I mean, it's like it's so dumb that it's almost hard to combat or oppose, because it's like, why are we supposed to think that has any meaning as a starting point for a worldview? What does that even mean? Reality is reality.
And as you rightly pointed out, what you never want to do, now, of course, we believe in the law of identity.
Yeah.
We believe that tautologies, at a lower level, are necessary to establish semantics, semantic meaning and stuff like that. And then also to develop propositions that could have possible truth values. Mm-hmm. We agree with that. What we don't do is just simply start there. And furthermore, as you'd said, it's so metaphysically loaded,
right,
and controversial in the history of philosophy that why would anybody go, you know what, if we're having a difficult time with something, let's go to the most obscure.
Let's go to the most obscure statement, being is being, or existence exists, right?
Yeah, it's just, it's amazing. Actually, it's an amazing move.
Anthony, what's up, man?